one of the mistakes, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on that without naming anybody, but I'll just say this. I think one of the mistakes that my generation made, I'm 40, is that about 10 years ago, we really went into the attractional aspect of mega church and celebrity pastors and all this sort of stuff. And so it was like, hey, do anything short of sin to win people over and really make it attractional, and monster trucks and this and that and all this craziness, right? and I understand the heart and the intent. And then when there was opportunities to speak on Oprah or speak on, you name the platform, what do you guys think about abortion? What do you guys think about homosexuality? They didn't answer those things.
Crumbled.
They didn't answer them publicly. And now what we're seeing is a generation of people that are like, hey, I don't want to be coddled. I'm probably going to disagree with you, but just tell me the truth. Like, what does the Bible really say? And teach me the scriptures. Teach me the scriptures. You don't have to give me a 3-point talk about it with an illustration and a movie night and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Just teach me the scriptures.
Isn't it awesome? Paul the Apostle told Timothy, give attention to reading. How simple is that?
Yeah.
Somebody, one of my youth pastors just this Sunday, maybe you know about this. He said, did you see what happened? I think it was in Texas, where a church opened up their doors for 75 hours or 76 hours, and people came in and they read from Genesis to Revelation behind a microphone. Like each person had like 20 minutes. They read through the entire Bible, and then they broke open in worship. And everybody was talking about the impact that it made on their life. And when asked why, they said, I heard portions of the Bible I've never even heard before. All that to say this, Jesus said, and we can talk about this later if you want, it's your show. Jesus said, my sheep hear my voice, they'll follow me, and a stranger they will not listen to. So right now there's a lot of division. Look, division going on in the church? I don't think so. I'm not panicking about it. I see pastors wringing their hands because they just lost a few people because of mentioning Israel or mentioning gender or mentioning COVID or mentioning BLM going back in time now, mentioning this, that, and the other thing. Oh, we just lost 10 people. How do you know you lost 10 people? Give the gospel, and the gospel and the word of God. It's not just the gospel. It's the full counsel of God speaks to everything of our lives. That means you're going to be talking about particular issues in life. That said, some people are not going to like it.
Yeah.
Bottom line is this. It's not for us as pastors to get people to come on in. It's for us to give them the voice of Jesus.
Yeah.
What's the voice?
Yeah.
The word
Amen.
is his voice.
Okay, I want to ask you a spicy question, and we can clip this out if you're uncomfortable.
Well, now you've got me all excited.
Okay, so I mentioned about 10 years ago, there was a lot of folks who were going viral, exploding the celebrity pastor thing. And I've always made the statement that like, I love to preach, I love to communicate, but I know my gifting is not a local church pastor, right? I watch, me and some of my friends have had the opportunity to go shoot with some Navy SEALs, and I understand there's levels to it,
Yeah.
And so like what you do is not what I do as a podcaster, as a Christian YouTuber. There's levels to ministry.
Okay.
And I get to sit here and pontificate, and churches will bring me out to speak sometimes, and it's awesome. But I think there's levels to it. Now, this is my hot take. I think there were amazing men of God who went into planting churches and doing local ministry for my generation that were not shepherds and pastors. They were content creators. They were authors. They were thought leaders.
Wow.
And had they came on the scene now, they probably would be doing something like I'm doing, where I'm in my garage speaking in front of a camera, and by the grace of God, I reach 1 million unique users a month, 100,000 a day, and it's awesome. But I am not equipped, nor wired, nor designed to shepherd people, to Mary Berry, to oversee a team, to put together a talk every Sunday. I don't have that gifting. And so I think there's levels to it. And when I meet real pastors that are like, hey, I'm sitting with the men, I'm doing the counseling, I'm doing the funerals, I'm showing up to the hospitals, I'm preaching, and I'm leading a staff, that's a very different gift set. And so what do you think about that? Like, do you think that there are perhaps some folks that went into ministry because it was the linear trajectory for their career?
Great word.
But they weren't equipped to be shepherds on the front lines pastoring.
Look, how controversial do you want your show to go?
You cook, because people are going to respect you and your legacy and what you come from. So yeah, go for it.
I'm going to say something. It's 100% true. Very few people think about it. it answers exactly what you just said. And in a strange way, if he's listening to your podcast, he'll appreciate what I'm saying. You just articulated this reality. Greg Laurie shows up to Anaheim Stadium and 65,000 people show up and 6,000 people get saved. Greg Laurie could read a menu at Cheesecake Factory and people get saved. Why? He is an evangelist.
Yeah.
He is called. It is obvious. It is so crystal clear. But I defend Greg Laurie when I hear what I'm about to tell you. And this is where the podcast will either blow up or sink. People will come to me and say, Pastor Jack, I just love the fact that you greet people and you're in the foyer and you're in the courtyard and you're saying hi to people after service. My pastor doesn't do that. Greg Laurie didn't do that. He drives in, he teaches, he drives away. And I say, wait a minute, wait. First of all, I have some loyalty to him. The guy led me to Christ.
Yeah.
But forget that. Greg Laurie's an evangelist, but he was he was pigeonholed as a pastor. And people don't like that they can't have access to him. They want him to marry, bury, counsel in these things. He's not called to do that. Greg knows his lane. He stays in it, and the rest is history. He is an anointed evangelist. Is he a pastor teacher? I don't think so. I'm going to get mail on this. But I'm standing on the firm word. There's pastor teacher, and of course there's overlapping gifts, but there's also the gift of evangelist. Which one does Greg Laurie most fit? A profound calling. Primary calling, clearly evangelist. Me, I can't lead anybody to Christ. I will mess it up so bad, but once you lead them to Christ, give them to me because I'll disciple them. I'll teach them the word. You know your lane, and you're a young man, and you're wise in recognizing that. A lot of people think they've either got to do everything or they're supposed to be the next whatsoever. And they're like the round peg in the square. It's just not working. And you're going to have to have some trust in the Lord to speak to you about your gifting and calling. And when you do that and trust him, I think that's when a person's ministry will blossom.
Yeah, that's good. That's definitely a hot take. And I love Pastor Greg.
Yep.
He's also extremely creative. And extremely prolific. Like he's written 100 books or something crazy.
Well, you said creative. Do you know what he? Have you been to his office?
I mean, he's been here, and this is the coolest thing ever. When he was here, we didn't have this bathroom, so I think he was the first guest in this room. We had just moved in, and he walked in through where you walked in, and he had to go use the other bathroom. My kids were there, just like they were here doing homeschool. And he ended up stopping and spending like 15 minutes just drawing pictures for them and just hang. It was the sweetest thing. I got video of it. I'll show you after. Maybe I'll play it here. I don't really show my family online, but it was the coolest thing. So he's so creative.
Right. That's exactly why I just asked you this. If you go to his office or if you look at his notes, his sermon notes, look, Greg Laurie sells best-selling books. I think Greg Laurie should actually put his notes together and sell those because they're brilliant. How he thinks, I can relate to in a very tiny way. I wish I could be more like him, but Greg is Technicolor, and he's a great cartoonist. And remember, his ambition was to work for Disney. He wanted to be an illustrator, a cartoonist for Disney. That said, it comes across so beautifully in his evangelistic delivery. But would to God that more Christians knew their lane, right?
Yep.
I think the church would do better if we operated in our lane. And some of the old greats would say that if that happened in your local church where people served with their gift in their lane, your church would have a revival.